To the south of Venice, in front of the Dorsoduro and San Marco district, stands the Giudecca Island, a set of 8 small islands connected together. Always a quiet place, residential area without excessive tourist presence that has 5,000 inhabitants, Giudecca is intimately linked to the city, and for this reason it is not without attractions and places of interest. The island overlooks Giudecca Canal, and today it is one of the destinations not to be missed during a stay in Venice. A small jewel that houses some of the most beautiful churches and architecture in the whole lagoon. You can visit Giudecca by Vaporeto line number 2 from Piazza de Roma or from Saint Marco Vaporeto Station. There are several Vaporeto stations along Giudecca district. Vaporeto boats are part of public transport, and you can buy tickets for the Vaporeto boats at the office at the bus station Piazza de Roma. There is a 75-minute ticket which costs you 12.5 euros, and it is useful only if you want to take a ride along Grand Canal. Much better option is to take a one-day ticket which is 25 euros, or a two-day ticket which is 35, and a three-day ticket which is 45 euros. There is also a 7-day ticket which will cost you 65 euros. Those tickets can be used also on buses and trams, and the one-day ticket can be also used on trains on the territory of city of Venice. You have to validate those tickets before each new journey in trams and buses, and on the terminals if you ride by boats or trains. You also can buy those tickets at the machines, and if you have, for example, 75-minute ticket, that means that you have to finish your ride after 75 minutes. If you use only trams and buses on the mainland, it will cost you only €1.50. At the island of Saint Giorgo Maggiore is the Church of Saint Giorgo Maggiore, one of the Andrea Paladio's the most significant works, which he began in 1566, but which was completed only in 1611, several years after the maestro's death. On the walls are 2 works by Tintoreto, a Last Supper and the Fall of Manna. The altarpiece by Jacopo Tintoretto was one of the master's last works. You can visit also the bell tower, and from there you can have a wonderful view over the Venice and Venice lagoon. The island San Giorgio Maggiore is the only island at Giudecca district which is not connected by bridges. So after visiting this masterpiece of architecture, we took again Vaporeto line number 2 to go across to the rest of Giudecca district. Along the coastline of Giudecca Island there is a very long river. From there you can have a wonderful view on Dorsoduro and San Marco district across the Giudecca Canal. You can see locals enjoying in the sun, walking along the river and sitting in small restaurants. The Church of the Zitelle, consecrated to the presentation of the Blessed Virgin Mary, commonly called Delle Zitelle, is a part of an ecclesiastical complex created by Jesuit Benedetto Palmi. The construction of the building, designed by Andrea Paladio, completed in 1588. The complex housed young girls without a husband, hence the name, too pure to have a dowry, and that ended up devoting themselves to the prostitution. In the hospice they were welcomed and instructed in the craft of sewing and lace making. The interior has a central plan dominated by the dome, with the paintings of Jacopo Palma, the younger Antonio Varisacci and Francesco Bassano, the author of the presentation of the Virgin in the Temple of the High Altar. Casa dei Tre Occhi, or the House of Three Occhi, designed by the artist Mario de Maria in 1913, is a splendid testimony of early 20th century Venetian architecture. The Emilian painter decided to build his new home to commemorate his daughter Silvia, who passed away a few years earlier. The three windows on the facade represent the three surviving members of the De Maria family, while the window placed at the top symbolizes the deceased girl. The Basilica of Redeemer, designed by the architect Andrea Paladio in 1577, is one of the most important churches in Venice and represents one of the greatest architectural masterpieces of Renaissance. It was erected in 1577 at the behest of the Senate of the Republic to honor a vow made during the severe plague of 1575. The temple, in addition to being famous for its beauty, is known to be the center of one of the most popular festivals in Venice, the Feast of the Redeemer. The Feast of the Redeemer is celebrated annually every third Sunday in July to commemorate the Niger that escaped the end of the epidemic, which in 2 years caused over 50,000 deaths. Holy Masses are held on Sundays. The solemn function held by the Patriarch and the religious procession, and on Saturday evening the city is illuminated by a fireworks display that attracts thousands of visitors. The parish church of Saint Eufemia was originally built in 9th century in Veneto-Byzantine style, while the external Doric portico was built during the reconstruction works of the 18th and 19th centuries. the imposing Molino Stucky is an old mill, which stands as a striking symbol of Venice's industrial revolution and which is now a luxury Hilton hotel. At the far western end of Giudecca there is the island of Sacca Fisola, from which is separated by the Canale de Lavraneri, and you can